Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about the news. We'll talk about altcoins. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys. And as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't troubleshoot your problems here live. So, gosh, a lot of stuff I want to talk about. It's going to be such a good show. This show, I don't know if any of you used to watch the old Gong Show with Chuck Barris. Whenever he'd come out, it'd be like, this next act, So anyway, yeah, I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. There's a lot of news. I'll try to get through the news as quickly as possible. I want to talk about wallet security and wallet testing and security certification and open source and all that stuff. And of course, I still got the stacks here. So I wanted to demo some outgoing transactions. A lot of people are asking me about, how do I send crypto out? And it is really cool the way that you sign transactions with this thing. So much more intuitive than the two buttons on the ledger. I was working with a wonderful friend of mine the other day doing tech support, and he mentioned how horrible the interface is on the ledger device. And it is. For someone that's just coming into crypto and into crypto hardware wallets, getting used to those two buttons and that little menu is difficult, especially going into the settings and changing the lock screen and all that kind of weird stuff. And it's so much easier on the stacks. So yeah, we'll demo the stacks tonight. I want to thank everyone that's here. Let's see if there's anything I wanted to talk about at the beginning. I think we're okay. Let's just jump into greeting everybody that's here. I want to thank everybody that joined me tonight. I hope you guys have a good time. Kenny was here early. Mang was here way early and said hi. Hi, Mang. Andreas is here. Thanks for being here, Andreas. Amsterdam, Holland mentioned the CoinGecko story. I forgot to put that in the news, but I brought it up in my browser. We'll talk about that. A subject matter I'd like to touch on when we talk about wallet security. Joseph, thank you so much for that donation. I appreciate that. It's good to have you here, Joseph. Asil, always a pleasure to have you here. It looks like you have been a member long enough that you have the glowing Bitcoin, the glowing gold Bitcoin icon, so that's pretty cool. It's good to see that. Designed that thing a long time ago. It's been months. So it's nice to see it in action. Simon hasn't been with us in a while. Thanks for being here. Mark Schlossberg from Slovakia. Thank you. Mr. Miski, Simona, Mulen, thank you for being here. Scott Lee is here. Gregory Whelan. What's the difference between a coin and a token? It's kind of like Scott says, semantics. The term can be used interchangeably. I think if I were, if somebody tied me to a chair and stuck a dentist drill on my tooth and told me to tell the difference, I would probably say something along the lines of a coin is like a top level crypto. Like Ethereum would be called a coin, and then a token would be a sub-token of Ethereum, like an ERC20 token, and BNB is a coin that has its own tokens, and of course Solana is a coin that has tokens. But a lot of people refer to the top level cryptos as tokens too, so it's not really a hard and fast definition. Let's see, a lot of people filtering in. Good to have everybody here. Dan is here. Thanks for being here. So the CryptoDad imposter jumped in at the beginning thinking he was going to fool somebody, but he hasn't got my new icon yet. And also, if you'll notice, whenever I post, there's there's a check mark there that means it's me and not some imposter. So yeah, Paul is here. Thanks for being here. All right, so everybody's here. Let's jump into the news real quick. A lot of stuff I want to cover tonight. BTC price settles at 69K after dip wipes 1.3 billion of open interest. Bitcoin lingers following a doubly strange U.S. trading session with BTC price support in question. Bitcoin at 69,000 yesterday. We're still hovering around that. We're at 69,381. We were a bit higher earlier, like 69,400 something, but it's been pretty steady most of the day. And then they talk about a schizophrenic, what was labeled schizophrenic United States employment data. Well, I could think of another word for it, but yeah, I guess, mainstream people might call it schizophrenic. Which is really, even that is taking a lot of liberty with using that word. Schizophrenic usually refers to, when people use it in that sense, they're actually describing multiple personality disorder. That is what, when people talk about, two things happening at the same time, like split personality. Schizophrenic is different, right? But yeah, there was good data and bad data in the jobs report. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And CryptoKitty was in the mix. So things are crazy, guys. Things are crazy. I've got all of my news stories linked down below in the description if you want to check out the news stories. I ran out of room. There's so much stuff I wanted to talk about tonight. But I linked the most important stories. We're going to, if you check the description down below, is all kinds of good stuff. I've got the tag for the Ledger YouTube channel and their video about Stacks, the road to Stacks, why it took so long, what makes it such an amazing device. Pretty cool. So you should check all that stuff out. There's a link to Ledger Stacks, but they are not available for order yet. But you can click a notify button that will send you an email when they are available. So if you're interested in a Stacks, I would suggest you do that. Trezor Safe 3, Ledger, affiliate links. I would appreciate if you'd use my affiliate links and all that good, all those news stories. So I'm going to just kind of briefly go over this story. Zero Hedge is a financial blog that I love to read. It's got a lot of different contributors. But it's a lot of alt reality finance, and but there's it's not uniform, right? It's not like a left or a right blog. It's just people on the left and the right contribute to this. But anyway, they talked about this jobs report. And once again, there are two measurements. There's the establishment survey, and then there's the household survey. For some reason, the establishment survey is what tends to move the market, but the establishment survey does not take into account individuals. So in other words, the establishment survey can say, hey, there's a whole bunch of new jobs, but it doesn't know, or it doesn't keep track of the fact that a lot of these so-called new jobs are people that already have jobs that can't make ends meet, and so they're getting a second part-time job. And so in this report, we see a big divergence between part-time jobs and full-time jobs. Full-time jobs actually went down and part-time jobs went up. So it really is not a very good reflection that the economy is doing great, right? And there was also a lot of shenanigans with what they call accounting adjustments. They have this thing called the business births and deaths, which added 231,000 jobs. Bloomberg, even Bloomberg is calling BS on the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Bloomberg now admits that artificially inflating the monthly job print by around 100K. To get a sense of just how unprecedented this statistical manipulation is, consider that the birth-death model has added 1.9 million jobs since April, or a whopping 56% of payrolls added during this period. This means that more than half of all the job gains in the past year are from an Excel spreadsheet, right? So, I mean, it's just getting uglier and uglier and crazier and crazier. And we're in an election year. They want everybody, in entrenched political class wants everyone to think the economy is doing great. And so they're manipulating all of this data. So it's crazy. It's just unbelievable. Here's another one where we see a loss in full-time and a gain in part-time. What happened yesterday in the markets was there was good news, which is the supposedly good job news, which means the economy is doing great. And the actual unemployment rate went down by 0.1 or up by 0.1. And that was like the part that was weird because more jobs were created, but unemployment went up. Man, it was just kind of weird. So there's a lot of contradictions in this report, but it basically on the surface was good news, which was like, hey, isn't good news good news? No, actually good news is bad news, because good news for the economy means that the Fed is probably not going to lower rates anytime soon and is going to push off that decision to lower rates when everyone was hoping that they might lower rates this month or next month or whenever the next time I think it's next week. Right. And now it's probably not going to be till September, if it's even this year. So in this, good news was bad news. Stocks went down. Cryptos went down. I think gold went down, too, which is kind of weird. But yeah, it was just weird. Everything's weird. And CryptoKitty is back in the game again in Robinhood trading. If you're not familiar, CryptoKitty has a live blog, and he's on Reddit, and there's this group of people that pile into the most shorted stocks by big institutions and cause a lot of short covering, which pushes the stock up. And that was mostly GameStop stock and Bed Bath & Beyond last year or the year before, I don't remember which, but he's back, and GameStop went up and then it went back down again. But in addition to the stock market, the Solana meme coins related to GameStop also were exploding and going up and down. So it does affect crypto. So you can check out that story. Crypto market tumble seen as quick shakeout. It's been my experience whenever there's market data or economic data or shocks to the system, geopolitical shocks to the system, especially when it's like fake kind of stuff. It moves the market, but not for very long. People just kind of come to their senses. And this happened on Friday, so everyone's got the whole weekend to come to their senses, and we'll probably see the big boys buying stocks and bonds or whatever the heck they do in the aftermarket hours trading, which the little guy doesn't have access to. They'll be scooping up all the stocks on sale on Sunday night and early Monday morning before the stock market opens. Yeah. So, and I predict the same thing for Bitcoin, and this writer does as well. It's just a quick bullish rebound is his prediction. And this latest rally, and this is not related to the up-to-the-date market stuff we're talking about now. This story was from, actually it's from yesterday. But a long term or short long term or long short term over the last several weeks, we've seen Bitcoin slowly, incrementally moving higher. In fact, we were really close to maybe breaching the all-time high just a day or two ago, and then Friday hit. And what's different about this rally is it's a slow and steady rally. So good news for crypto, and I kind of noticed that myself. Also, if Bitcoin does bounce back to 71K, it could or would wipe out 1.38 billion in shorts. And when shorts get liquidated, they have to buy the underlying asset to cover their loan. And this pushes the price higher faster. So let's hope that that happens. Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, it could happen, right? Coinbase rolled out their smart wallet with no gas fees and easy onboarding. I played around with this thing. I don't like it. I think it's a great idea to help people get into crypto. I'm not a huge fan of it because I just don't seem to have the kind of control that I would have over a normal wallet. One of the things is I like to do videos and explain how people can do things. And it basically wants to use my Windows Hello to verify. And I let it do that the first time. And then I wanted to go in and maybe delete it and try a different way. And I can't figure out how to delete it. It keeps rolling back to the same wallet. I wanted to try it with my YubiKey, and that didn't work. I was going to try using it with my phone. And I failed doing that. I couldn't get the old wallet out of there. So, but anyway, I'll show you. We'll play around with it a little bit. But I bring this up because I posted a video about wallet security and Ledger and have just been going back and forth with people over the last few days about Ledger and about wallet security. And this story here just goes to show that the face of self-custody is changing, right? Get with the program. Everyone is pearl clutching about Ledger introducing their Ledger backup service or their Ledger recovery service. And what they don't realize is that Ledger is evolving as a wallet company to take advantage of, customer demand and customer issues, right? People were losing crypto because they lost their seed phrase or they wrote it down wrong. So they were calling up and screaming at Ledger. So they introduced this service as an improvement, as a way to make more money. And they altered their device to do it. And everyone's up in arms that, oh my God, they lied, But anyway, we'll get into that a little more. I think I covered the news, right? But there were some other stuff I wanted to talk about. Let's see. Well, Coinbase wallet. Let's get rid of that. Let's see what we got over here. We got that again. Okay. Once again, I want to thank everyone for being here. Someone's asking what happened to GME or GameStop stock. Apparently, CryptoKitty did his live stream and talking about GameStop. And during his live stream, GameStop tanked 40%. This is weird. Yeah. We're talking about the stock market here. But anyway, I'm just going to close these out. Once again, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. I really appreciate you guys showing up. And let's see. Yeah, I think that was a latecomer. Gary Gensler. Someone asked Gary Gensler about ETF approval, and he said something like it might be a while, and then they called him on it. And he goes, well, it's really up to the companies. So I'm pretty sure the final approval for individual companies that want to get final approval for their own Ethereum ETFs is coming soon, right? And let's see, someone brought up the CoinGecko email breach. Apparently, CoinGecko has an email list, and which was being managed by a third party, and there was a data breach. And this kind of let's get into this topic. I wanted to talk about this. I'll try not to spend too much time on it because there are some things I want to do. But yeah, let's talk about this real quick. I just kind of want to get this off my chest. If we go back, let's see. I released a video this week. There's several videos this week. Some of these you guys have seen because they were excerpts from the live stream, but stacks demos, advanced features. But I did a video on whether or not ledger devices are safe to use. And I didn't really talk that much about Ledger, the Ledger recovery service. I just sort of put in my opinion to debunk a lot of the FUD that people are spreading about Ledger. And yeah, so I'll talk more about Ledger Recover in another standalone video, but I wanted to kind of just broach the subject tonight. The Ledger Recover service is a way that it's a service that you sign up for, but you can use it in conjunction with your Ledger device so that when you are setting up your Ledger device, and I don't know if you can like do this after you've already got your device set up or not. I haven't delved that far into it. But I know that during the setup, you are offered the option to back up your device to the Ledger Recover service. Now, this is a cloud-based service, and there's a whole bunch of white papers that I have read through, long, boring read about how this works. It's pretty cryptographically sound. It basically, Kate, thank you for that. Thank you for that subscription. I appreciate that. It's basically user initiated, right? You have to decide you want to do it. Chris, thank you for that. And it can only be done locally on the device by using the buttons. So all of these people that are screaming that Ledger is somehow stealing our private keys, this is pure speculation. It has nothing to do with reality. It is an optional service, and it is performed by the user. It's validated by the user. A lot of people are upset because this is antithetical to crypto, and I get that, but that's a moral claim, right? They're mad because Ledger is violating their, code of ethics or whatever you want to call it. But Ledger has a real problem, and the real problem that Ledger has is that they are selling a lot of crypto wallets to a lot of people. And a good portion of these people, well, the people that are using their wallets fine don't call, right? So I would say that they get a huge portion of their tech support calls and emails and web forms from people who have lost access to their crypto because they lost their seed phrase. And you might go, oh, they deserved it because they lost their seed phrase. I don't know, they don't lose their seed phrases on purpose. And there's more, it's more than just that. You can write your seed phrase down incorrectly. And then when you need it, and you try to use it, it tells you it's invalid, right? So that's another way that people lose crypto. And the seed phrase could have been stored properly and then their house burned down, or they got water damage, it got destroyed in some way or fashion. And these are people that some of them lost their life savings. And not only did they lose their life savings, but they also missed out on life-changing wealth. They bought Bitcoin in 2017 or whatever, and, they were going to retire on it. And then because they lost a little piece of paper, they lost all that crypto. And, they put all their money into it, some of them, all of their life savings, and this tiny little piece of paper confounded that. That is a real problem. That is real people losing their money. And all of these crypto purists that are so savvy, they would never, lose their crypto. They'd find some other wallet to use or whatever. They don't seem too concerned about people that are on, down in the trenches, losing their life savings or missing out on life-changing wealth. So Ledger is on the front lines, and I am too. I hear this stuff all the time from people in my comments and in email. Help me, CryptoDad. I lost my seed phrase. I can't help you, because of self-custody. So Ledger said, look, we got to figure out a way. The more of these things we sell, the more of these sad stories we're going to have to deal with. The more people are going to complain and give us a bad reputation because they're losing their seed phrase or writing it down incorrectly. So they came up with this solution, which is Ledger Recover. This is just additional functionality added to the device. That's all it is. It is not a way for Ledger to serendipitously steal your crypto. It is a way for an end user to back up their seed phrase to the cloud. There's all kinds of, if you don't think it will work, that's, fine. But if you read all their white papers, it's pretty cryptographically sound. The government cannot subpoena the private key because it is split up and encrypted. It can only be utilized by the end user with biometric verification, right? So it's a pretty sound system, but we get so many people complaining about this service as if, Ledger has betrayed them, right? I'm always hearing that. Ledger lied. I'll never trust them again. I'm like, okay, you seem to have confused Ledger with your ex-girlfriend, right? We're talking about a company here. We're talking about a company that added an additional feature to their product. They modified their they modified their product to adapt to changing customer needs. Isn't that what most companies do? It's not like Ledger had sex with your best friend, and even if they did, that's on you, bro. So, I'm just really, all these people that are just freaking out, oh, Ledger lied. Well, they didn't lie. The premise of the Ledger lied argument is that Ledger said it was impossible for the private key to ever leave the device, and now they just added a service that does. So they lied. Well, sort of. Basically, the claim by Ledger is that your private key never leaves the device. It is stored separately from the computer, and it doesn't, right? If you don't want it to, right? They've added an additional feature that makes it possible. Now, here's another thing that'll blow your mind. It has always been possible to export the private key from a Ledger device. Do you know how? During setup. When you are setting up your Ledger device and it displays the seed phrase to you and you see it with your eyes and write it on a piece of paper, that is the device exporting the private key to you. So it has always had the capability of exporting the private key, just not remotely. So this whole Ledger lied business is crazy. And then also the open source argument. Ledger is not open source. Well, let's talk a little bit about open source. This is the open source initiative, the open source definition. Basically, for a software project to be open source means not only that their code is public, but it also means that it can be freely redistributed, which means that anyone could download the code and use it in their own software projects. Well, the code that runs the Ledger device is Ledger's property. I don't think they really want everyone out there having access to the code for their devices. So, Joe Blow can make his own ledger clone using their software, right? So, and open source software applies to software. It's in the definition. It doesn't really apply to a hardware device. So the whole idea of open source is really not applicable to a hardware ecosystem, right? Okay, Ledger's code is not fully open source, and there are other companies that do have sort of open source code. But I doubt that every hardware wallet out there wants their code to be freely distributable, right? So let me just quickly show you. I think I stopped a Andreas Antonopoulos video. The Andreas Antonopoulos video is linked down below in the description. And this one is a doozy. It's a great video. Andreas Antonopoulos is much smarter than I. He wrote the book on Bitcoin. He wrote Mastering Bitcoin. And in this video, the question that he was asked is, how can I trust a ledger or a Trezor device to generate a seed? And his response is, no matter what kind of device you're using, you have to put some degree of trust in the company. I don't want to show the video because I'll probably get a copyright flag from YouTube, right? I wanted to just run the video. But basically, he goes on to say that the devices are specialized and made for a specific purpose, right? And that the only way for an end user to achieve the old zero trust is by doing everything themselves with paper and pencil. And he says that, performing cryptographic elliptical mathematics with a paper and pencil is probably beyond the capabilities of most people. And then he talks about people want to download Tails and use the Glacier protocol on, an air-gapped ThinkPad and send it to a printer that's offline. And so now you've decided not to trust a device specifically designed to generate a private key randomly, and you've decided to put your trust in 3 or 4 other pieces of software and hardware devices, which are general purpose, not really made for that. So it's kind of ridiculous for people to claim that, Ledger's not open source, so I'm never going to use them again, because they really aren't, and I don't want to knock the wind or, take the wind out of everybody's sails. But, it's time for us to realize that open source is not the end-all be-all of hardware devices, right? They don't have to be open source to be good, and they are tested, right? So I just kind of wanted to quickly touch on, I'm on a rant, I know, but I wanted to touch on a couple little things, and let's see. One of them is Blockstream Jade. Okay, so most of the crypto wallets out there use what's called a secure element chip. So, okay, the software and the firmware are one thing, but the hardware device has a secure element chip that does stuff that's secret, right? And almost all of the crypto hardware wallets out there, the top ones, have secure element chips. Tangem, Ledger, the Trezor Safe 3 has a secure element chip. The Cold Card has a secure element chip. The Keystone 3 Pro, air-gapped hardware wallet has a secure element chip. These are secret by design. And here's a company called Blockstream Jade, and they say it right here. Secure elements are closed source chips that are integrated into hardware wallets in order to protect them from physical attacks. They are typically covered by NDAs because they're manufactured by chip companies. They increase the cost of the hardware wallet, and they prevent the users from building their own device. So Blockstream Jade has what they call a fully open source model and a virtual secure element But basically, here it is in black and white, right? No hardware wallet that uses a secure element chip is fully open source. So if we can't trust open source, then what do we trust? Well, we can trust the testing regimen. And let's see here. I wanted to quickly, this is a great article that talks about security certification. I ran out of room in the description, so I'm just going to paste it into the chat window. We'll paste it in here. There you go. And in this article, we can find out a lot about how the Ledger devices are tested. And then down here, there's some links to their bounty program. They pay independent hackers to look for any vulnerabilities. They have an in-house software testing, white hat hackers. They've got certification level, third-party certifications for their security, all that kind of stuff. Let's see. I'm losing steam here, guys. I'm too old. It's time for me to go to bed. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, this one. Here is a story, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, where the open source project was infiltrated by a hacker in conjunction with an army of trolls that were screaming at the developer through emails and Reddit posts saying that he wasn't releasing software fast enough, and he needed more help, and so he brought in this other guy who turned out to be a hacker, and that once this other guy got in, he uploaded malicious code to this open source software project. So here we see that open source is not the answer to all your problems, right? Everyone's freaking out because Ledger isn't open source. Well, it never was. All right, so I think I've covered this topic. But yeah, I mean, I've just been getting a lot of flack from people because I posted this video. Oh, you're leaving? Oh, I guess I should. Oh, well, Kitty was here, but I didn't get a chance to show him on camera. He came up and just sat on my keyboard for a minute. Okay, so we talked about Blockstream Jade. Okay, we talked about Ledger security certification. We talked about that open source is not foolproof. Paul had asked me to talk a little bit about crypto.com. We'll pay integrated into Ledger Live. We can talk a little bit about that. I wanted to quickly cover, if I can, the Coinbase wallet. This thing about Adobe too. I'll put a link to this in the description. A lot of people now are freaking out about Adobe because they have modified their user license agreement, and now they basically are claiming they have full access to any content that people create within their Adobe suite. So there's a lot of craziness going on in the software world as well. And a lot of people are, saying, I don't trust Adobe anymore. Adobe slept with my best friend. It's all the same, right? So let's see. Can I launch this wallet? I'm going to try. Come on, Rex. Where is it? I think I was doing it over here. Let's see if I can do it here. Right, so Coinbase wallet, and it's like kind of hard to find this thing. I tried Googling it, and it just took me to Coinbase, or it took me to Coinbase wallet, which is something different, right? This is Coinbase Smart Wallet, and I'll click this link here, and I think it's going to launch my Coinbase Smart Wallet. Now, this was created, and I wanted to kind of show you the whole process, but I can't delete this wallet. I can't get it out of my browser. I mean, earlier today, when I booted up the computer and tried to use it, somehow I was able to go into the setup and try some other ways of creating my passkey. But now it's like stuck. Every time I try to go back into wallet creation, it just pulls up my wallet. And there's really I haven't been able to find any way to back it up. Remember, we talked a couple weeks ago that this wallet, supposedly you're able to back up your passkey to a text file that you can store on a flash drive, but I cannot find that anywhere. This is basically the passkey for this wallet is based on my Windows Hello. So it's based on my copy of Windows. So if this computer crashes and I have to get a new computer, then I don't know how I would regain access to this wallet, and I can put crypto in here. And if I click buy crypto, it'll sort of connect to Coinbase. So it's really cool. It's really easy to use. You don't have to write down a seed phrase. And it's very fast to set up, integrated with Coinbase, all that great stuff. It's really cool. But I'm just an old-fashioned guy. I like to make sure I've got everything backed up. And I also like to play around with these things and like delete them and try again in a different way. And once I initialize it, I can't seem to get rid of it. So I don't know where I would go into my settings to like delete this thing. But God help you if you put, 5 Bitcoin in here and then your computer crashed or your house burned down or whatever. I like backups. Call me crazy. But it is hopefully going to onboard a bunch of people and make it much easier to use crypto wallets, right? And in most circumstances, it'll be just fine, right? You'll have your computer, you'll have your security key, your pass key or whatever. People might use their phone or whatever. I think it will probably be fine. There won't be like, giant sections of the population that are losing their crypto in this wallet. I'm sure a lot more people lose their crypto because they lose their seed phrase or they write their seed phrase down incorrectly than people will be losing crypto because their passkey gets destroyed for the Coinbase Smart Wallet. So I'll try to give you a better overview of this wallet in the future. I would love to show you how to back it up. I would love to show you how to set it up using other passkey options like a hardware passkey or use your phone as a passkey and stuff like that. Oh, William, thank you. Oh, it's still afternoon out there in LA. Yeah, it's 6:42 here in Michigan, and it's starting to get dark. Thank you, William. I appreciate your support as always. What exchange can U.S. residents use other than Coinbase to cash out? You can use Kraken to cash out. Kraken has been around a really long time. You can use Gemini. To cash out. You can use crypto.com to cash out. We're going to talk a little bit about crypto.com tonight. Crypto.com is a phone app. So, yeah, we could use crypto.com. I got to give it my face here. Go away. Okay. I don't know what it's doing. It's like all kinds of crazy stuff going on here. Wow. I don't know what all this junk is. Oh, Lord in heaven. So many ads. Come on, man. I just want to see my homepage. Can I do that? Okay, there. It's my crypto wallet, I guess. Okay. Yeah, it's like weird. Okay. Anyway, they've changed their home screen, updated their app, right? But you can connect your bank account to crypto.com. You can cash out using crypto.com. One of the most innovative ways that you can cash out on crypto.com is using your crypto Visa MasterCard, right? The metal Visa card. So all you have to do is top up, and basically you sell your crypto onto the card, and then you can use the card to make purchases anywhere Visa's accepted. So that's just a quick and dirty way to cash out. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot of other ways to cash out than just using Coinbase. Coinbase is my go-to cashing out service. It seems to work best for me, but I should sort of, practice using these alternate methods. I haven't used crypto.com to cash out in a while, but it's relatively about as fast. I don't know. They may have instant cash outs now like Coinbase does. And when you do a cash out to bank, I think it's relatively fast. They always tell you it's going to be 3 to 5 business days. But I think usually if you do it in the morning, you get it the same day or within 24 hours. So, yeah. So let's go in. I told you I was going to help. Told you I would do some stuff with these stacks tonight. So let's go into Ledger Live. And Paul had sent me an email earlier and said that Crypto.com had made a deal with Coinbase. Here it is. Crypto.com pay on-ramp service is now integrated into Ledger Live, which is just another way to pay for crypto from within Ledger Live. So if you're using Ledger Live and you go over here to the buy section and you say, let's say you want to buy some Bitcoin or whatever, you can choose whatever you want to buy, but let's just say you want to buy some Bitcoin. You say you want to buy $1,000 worth. You'll notice that crypto.com has been added to their list of approved payment options. So when we click this, well, come on, you going to do anything? You're just going to stare at me. Oh, I guess I have to select it and then do this. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I want to use crypto.com, and I think what they're going to do is say, okay, they generate my wallet address, right? It's going to go into my Bitcoin wallet in Ledger Live. And this is why people like to use Ledger Live to do this, because it's kind of a no-brainer, right? It goes right into your Bitcoin account. And so when I click buy, okay, I think what they want me to do here is log into my crypto.com account with my credentials, right? But I also could, I think what I could also do is continue with the crypto.com app, which will give me this QR code, which I would scan with my phone, right? And it launches, whoops, okay, that didn't work out. Huh, I had done this earlier and it looked like it was gonna work out just fine. But anyway, let's get rid of all this stuff and see if we can, let's see if we can get it to work. My assumption is that it's not taking me to the right place. Launch crypto.com app. Oh, okay, my bad. All right, launch crypto.com app, tap menu settings, QR code scanner. Okay, menu settings, okay, down at the bottom here. Where's QR code scanner? QR code scanner. Oh, come on, somebody help me out here. Where is this thing? Is this it? Ah, okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. So, okay. Let's confirm that. Okay. I've successfully connected. Okay. Well, that's kind of weird. Yeah, I mean, it's basically just gonna... So all I really did was authorize, my crypto.com account to connect to Ledger Live, and it's just going to take it out of my, preferred payment method, which is my ATM card. But I have I've tried several of these third-party payment processors in Ledger Live, and a lot of times my Chase Bank will reject them. Now, and I remember early on that Crypto.com got rejected by my Chase Bank, but I could tell it that it was fine, right? They would send me the text that said, is this fraud? And I would say no, and they'd say, okay, just try again and it'll work. And it did. And so they my Chase Bank might go, oh, it's Crypto.com wanting to, do a debit. We've done them in the past, so okay, fine, right? And some people might have other payment methods attached to their Crypto.com account that would, work, whatever they've got it connected to a credit card or whatever, or somehow in their balance. But I don't see any choice here. Maybe it's because I've only got one preferred payment method set up in my Crypto.com account, or maybe it's because I don't have $1,000 worth of Bitcoin in my account. So maybe if I did, well, that would be weird, though. I mean, just transferring Bitcoin from Crypto.com to my ledger, I guess I can do that on my own. I don't need this interface. This is obviously, I'm making an additional purchase. But Crypto.com Pay is a secure payment method that a lot of people are already using, and it is based in the US, so it might be a better way for US users to, buy crypto from within Ledger Live. I prefer to buy my crypto on Coinbase. Call me crazy, but it just seems more seamless, or more straightforward, right? But anyway, yeah, so I'm just going to back out of this. I'm not going to buy that. But yeah, I mean, that's cool that there's more integration with other payment providers within Ledger Live. That's just kind of making it easier to buy crypto, right? And making it easy to put it into your wallet without having to do a transfer. But I really believe that people should be familiar and comfortable with doing crypto transfers. These kind of services kind of obfuscate the process of doing a transfer from point A to point B, because they kind of do it for you under the hood. So I'm not crazy about all that. Will it let you buy XRP Paynet? That I don't know. I've never heard of XRP Paynet. Sorry about that, William. What exchange has the lowest fees? Every exchange has their own fee structure. I believe if you're using Coinbase Advanced, you get pretty decent fees. I'm not really sure. I don't shop around that much. I mean, if you're concerned about fees, I believe you can visit their sites without signing up and maybe dig around in their, on their website, and they might have a section where they tell you what the standard fees are for trades and transfers and stuff. But, transfer fees, withdrawal fees, a lot of those are basically, they're just passing blockchain fees on to you. So they're not set, they're not standardized. Blockchain fees rely on network activity, so they could be high at 4 o'clock when things are going, when people are active, and they could be less at 3 a.m. when everyone else is asleep. So it's not kind of easy to compare apples to oranges and just tell you, oh, exchange B has the cheapest fees. It's something you just kind of have to figure out on your own. I wish I knew the answer to that. I'm sorry that I don't. But as far as I know, I think the fee structure for Coinbase Advance is reasonable, but I don't shop around a lot. Yeah, well, like I said, this uphold fee is, they're basing that fee on blockchain fees. So for you to slap a percentage on it is not always accurate, right? Like I said, you might look at how much you're trying to withdraw and look at the fee they're charging and then calculate it out as 2.5%. But like I said, it's a blockchain fee. They're passing blockchain fees on to you. So that fee might be different at different times of the day based on the blockchain activity. So it's not set in stone like that. Although you may be referring to where they've actually told you, hey, we're taking 2.5%, I guess. I don't know. I don't use Uphold that much. Yeah. So let's do a transfer using my stacks. I'm going to go a little long today because there was so much I wanted to do. So I want to do a Bitcoin transaction outgoing over to Coinbase, right? So we got our Coinbase account over here. No, we don't. That's Coinbase wallet. Let's go into Coinbase proper and tell them, hey, I want to make a deposit of Bitcoin into my account, and I'm going to transfer it from my wallet. So you can go up, and this is Coinbase Advanced, right? You can use Coinbase Regular if you want to. I don't think they charge you any more they don't really charge you anything to make a deposit. So it would pretty much be the same. So in other words, I would hit transfer. Yeah, I mean, it's the same button as in Advanced, right? And I would say receive crypto and then Bitcoin. And then they're going to give me a Bitcoin address, right? It's the same in Advanced, pretty much. If I can get rid of this. We go to Advanced, they have basically the same button. The reason I use Advanced is because trades are cheaper, right? Than using regular Coinbase. They basically just give you that merchant charge on top of a trade. So whereas in Advanced Coinbase, you get like a percentage depending on how much you're trading, right? And I think it's 0.1% or 0.01%, whatever it is. Dan knows. So we'd say receive crypto, we'd say Bitcoin, and basically they're going to give me the exact same address because that's the Bitcoin address of my account. All right, so let's get the camera rolling here so that you can see my stacks, right? We're going to do the stacks tonight. Let's see. There it is. Whoops. There we go. Let's come in a bit. There's my lovely wife. Someone was so nice to me the other day. I was doing a stacks demo, and they said, who cares about the stacks when you have a lovely wife like that? And I showed that to my wife. She was pretty happy. So let's see here. I got to put in my PIN. I hope I did this right. Did I do that right? I knew it. I could just sense it. Let me try this again. Okay. And yeah, I think I had talked earlier that the interface on this thing is so nice, so easy to use. And it's going to be a little awkward for me because I have it facing the camera. It's easier when I have that camera from above, but I wanted to just do the desktop, right? The first thing I'll need to do is get out of the Ethereum app, right? This is what the home screen looks like. And so we got that Bitcoin address. Let's go to Ledger Live. Let's go into Bitcoin. Let's do a send. Oops. Come on, baby. Actually, what I'd like to do... all right, I'm just going to do this. All right. Let's do it again. Whoops. I don't know what I did, how I did that. I must have bumped it. All right, so let's do send. Let's tell them I want to send it to Coinbase. Let's just do part of this. Let's just do 25. I know these are crazy. When I do these small ones, oh, wait a minute. They want to charge me 45. for this. What the? Let's do a max. OMG, they want to charge me $36. Well, I don't know that I really want to go through that. To lose that much Bitcoin for a demo, that's a tough pill for me to swallow. This is just an example of, it's 7 p.m. Everybody's, well, I don't know why, but it's just high. And usually it's not this high. I mean, I've seen a transaction like this only costs like a couple of bucks. I just don't understand why it's like $36 right now. It's just, I can't. All right, so let's, I would have loved to have done it. Oh, okay, well, you know what I'll do? I'll just do it and then cancel out at the last minute. So you can see the process, right? All right, so let's do send max. Let's hit continue. They're telling me, the percentage of my fee is like more than 10% of, what I'm sending, which I get. Let's hit continue. All right, so the Bitcoin app opens up. So I say, okay. All right, and then it's, all right. We're still going to be able to demonstrate how easy this thing is. All right, so see, it says tap to continue and dim. You can tap anywhere on the screen. It's like tap. There's all the information, how much Bitcoin, where I'm sending it. Tap. It's telling me to warn, right? Okay. I don't think this is the final confirmation. Okay, there's the fees. Okay. And then to sign the transaction, the final step is I hold this check mark down and I get a little progress bar that goes across. But in this case, I'm going to reject. Yes. Right? Because I determined that fee was too high. So a lot of people go through these and they don't really pay attention to the blockchain fee, right? Let's see what happens with Ethereum. Maybe I can do an Ethereum transfer for you guys. I definitely wanted to do an Ethereum transfer for you guys. All right, so there's the Ethereum address. I do have some Ethereum in my account. This is going to be kind of weird. All right, so there's the Ethereum address. And what are they going to charge me? Okay, 58 cents. I can deal with that. Let's see what happens when I put 50 bucks worth in there. Is it going to go up? Okay, so go figure, right? Why is the Ethereum fee only 58 cents and Bitcoin $36? That's craziness, right? Let's hit continue. Now it's going to bomb me out of the Bitcoin app, and then it's going to ask me if I want to open the Ethereum app. So I'll say yeah. Right, so it opens up the Ethereum app, and this time we're going to go ahead and just send it all, right? We'll review, we'll tap. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble keeping this thing in camera for you. All right, there's the amount, there's the address, tap again. There's the fee of Ethereum, which was like less than $1, right? And then we get to this, and so then we're going to hold until the progress bar goes across and transaction is signed. Now, I did it slow because I'm like, it's awkward direction for me. But when you've got this thing in the palm of your hand and you're using your thumb, it's just such a breeze. It's so easy to use. So much easier than the two buttons on the, and the information is presented to you in a clear and readable format, right? It's very easy to read and take in all this information, right? There's so much room on the screen. Adalberto, thank you so much for that. Sorry for mangling your name. But even the Ledger Nano X can't display some information on one screen. Like they're trying to show you an address and it requires two screens for you to, advance through to see the entire address. Whereas the stacks can present the entire address for you on one screen and, all the information, the network and all that great stuff. Boom. Easy peasy, easy to read, easy to interface with. So that's why I love the stacks, right? And I think what I was going to do, I really want to show you how easy this is to trade. And I was doing some trading last week during the live stream, and then I posted the video. And, in order to do DEXs, swaps on DEXs, you have to enable blind signing, right? It's just a fact of life, right? It's because the information from the smart contracts on the DEX is too much information for the ledger to properly process, or shall we say, the ledger does not have the capability to process all of that information properly. And so the only way to make this trade go through is to enable blind signing, which just says, okay, I don't need to see all the information that you're presenting, but I am going to authorize the transaction. So you'll see quite a bit of information in your wallet if you're worried that you're not seeing enough information, right? But somebody made the comment, blind signing on, I can't remember exactly what he said. He's like, blind signing on a DEX that could have a malicious smart contract with a device with closed source code. What could go wrong, And I was kind of like, well, blind signing is a fact of life. If you don't want to do DEX stuff, then don't do DEX stuff and just use your device to do long-term hodling, right? It's perfect for storing Bitcoin and Ethereum. You don't have to do DEX stuff, but if you want to do DEX stuff, you're going to have to enable blind signing. Ledger has this thing called clear signing, but nobody supports it yet, right? So what are you going to do? And we talked earlier about the closed source issue. I mean, come on, let's kind of try to get past this whole Ledger is closed source, so I don't trust them. I don't know what Ledger's doing behind my back over, with my best friend while I'm working hard, down at the, the steel mill. I don't trust Ledger, right? It's like, can we get over this? It's not your girlfriend. It's a wallet, right? It's rigorously tested. And if it were stealing people's cryptos, boy, it would be front page news, right? No proof of Ledger stealing your crypto or exporting your private key. It would be trivial for, a network sniffer, a packet sniffer, any kind of white hat hacker worth his salt could easily determine if the Ledger device or Ledger Live were serendipitously like sending information out without the user's control or authorization, right? It's just trivial. So the device is not doing this, and the fact that it's using closed source code is not really a factor. If it were doing this, it would be painfully obvious to anybody testing the device, and the device undergoes rigorous third-party testing. So, yeah, and nothing is 100% foolproof. We need to get past that, that fantasy, that notion that that everything you're always putting a level of trust in almost everything that we do. We trust everything. It's just a matter of how much trust we want to give it, or we try to find ways of minimizing the trust we put in everyday objects and minimize our risk and, try to minimize the amount of trust. Unless, of course, it's your loving wife. Of course, you trust her completely, right? Okay, so let's do a little DEX stuff. I think I'm going to try it with Bluetooth over here on the, on the camera. Before I do that, let's go into Coinbase and make sure we received that Ethereum transfer. Boop-a-doo, there it is. Okay, so let's turn off this camera here. And I would like to, let's see, I gotta put this in here. All right, let's see how things are going here. Things are a little up today. So I'm going to grab the address of my Rabby wallet, which coincidentally is the exact same address that I just sent that crypto out of, right? So I'm just basically putting it back in here. It's the same Ethereum wallet, right? This wallet that we just sent from, yeah, 72445. Yeah, my Rabby wallet is tied to the same address because the Rabby wallet is tied to my Ledger device, right? So anyway, we'll just copy that into our clipboard. Let's go over here to the Ethereum in my Coinbase account. We're going to just send it all out. And we're going to send it out on the Base network, which you'll notice is absolutely free because it's Base, right? And then we'll paste in my wallet address, which Coinbase is aware of as well. All right, so we'll just go ahead and send that out. 0 network fee, good stuff. I need my 2-factor. And let's do this. Okay. All right, so we're going to go over to the table and do some swaps and stuff. All right, and it should hit my wallet pretty quick. Yeah, so went into my wallet. Actually, I didn't want to do that, but that's okay. Actually, I wanted to convert it to US dollar coin, but it's okay. I can trade base ETH. So you can see I've got $90 worth of base ETH in my wallet, right? We can use that to trade. So I just wanted to show you guys a few quick trades. Now, a lot of people in my comments section on my YouTube channel have been asking me about Brett. Brett is the top meme coin on the Base network. And this is a 24-hour chart, but let's look at the 7-day chart. Let's look at the 1-month chart. So Brett has been on a tear over the last week or so. And so a lot of people have been oh, this is Brett's cat. My bad. It's different. Brett's cat. Oh, here's Brett. Okay. All right. So let's look at the 1-month chart of Brett. There we go. That's what we're saying. Yeah. So Brett has been on a tear. And, you know, all of these, the guy who was bashing, bad-mouthing me because I'm using blind signing, interacting with potentially malicious smart contracts with a closed source device, didn't buy any Brett, because he's, he doesn't believe in using a device that uses blind signing, I guess. I don't know. But I did. I bought some Brett, and it turned out pretty well for me. So let's go over to the table. I just can't get past that guy, can I? Oh well, I won't let him live rent-free in my head anymore. I'm with my family tonight. All right, so let's do this. Move Solana. Okay, yeah, I could move Solana too. All these problems with banks not letting you send crypto to exchange. A lot of us are using WireX, Revolut, Monzo for on-off ramping, bank to Revolt to Kraken, for example. Yeah, I mean, I had an issue with Binance US because they don't have fiat off-ramp. So and if I sell anything that's Binance Smart Chain and I want to cash out, I can't do that on Coinbase because I can't deposit like Binance Smart Chain tokens on Coinbase or BNB. Or Binance Smart Chain based Tether or anything, right? So if I need anything to do with a Binance Smart Chain, I have to send it over to Binance US. And so after I cash out to US dollar coin on Binance US, I send that to Coinbase so that I can cash out. And I had an issue with Binance US. It's happened to me before. I do a withdrawal, the kind of thing I do like a couple times a week, and something goes weird and it doesn't go through. And then it just says pending for, you know, like hours and hours. And then that happened to me yesterday. And then this morning when I looked at it, it said failed. So I had to do it again. And then this morning when I did it again, it worked. But it's frustrating when you're dealing with on-ramps and off-ramps, you know. Anyway, let's get over here. Let's see. Here it is. Is everything working? Yeah. Oh, I need to get this up. Actually, let me go back here for a second. Oops. Yeah, let's go back here. Okay, there we go. Well, let's move this camera a little bit. You can see the... Oh, no. Are you kidding me? What just happened? Did it just freeze on me? Oh, man. Oh, man. Oops, sorry. Let's go back to the table demo. Is it going to let me do this? Oh, come on. Brr. Okay. So my camera just has frozen up on me. I don't know if I can get it to work or not, to be honest with you. I'll try. But I don't have high hopes for this. I tested this before I started. No, it's not going to cooperate with me. Okay, all right, fine. Actually, I can sort of do this on my phone. I'll do it on my phone, and I will use the. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. All right. I'll use my phone, and I'll show you what's going on in this really awkward interface. But yeah. All right. So we've got the device disconnected now, right? We're gonna use Bluetooth. So okay. So this is what it looks like. That is such a easy to use pin entry interface. So easy. All right, so let's do this. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let me get everything situated here to the best of my ability. So we're going to go into Ledger Live. And I'm going to go down to the My Ledger section, which they've improved a little bit. Now it's a little easier to navigate, right? So I want to add a new device, so let's hit Add New. And then I'm going to connect an existing ledger. And it sees my stacks. And it paired up just fine. Now, and so I need to allow the secure connection. Now, I had done this before, so I didn't get the initial pairing interface where they show you a number on the device and then they show you like the same number on the phone. But it was pretty easy when I did it. It's not rocket science, so I should have removed it from my Bluetooth devices. But well, we're here now. We got it, right? So we have our stacks connected to our Ledger Live. So we could do some outgoing transactions if we want to. Dan had said, hey, send some Solana. So why don't we, let's do that just for... what the heck, right? We're going to go into my Coinbase account. I'm going to make a deposit of crypto, and we'll choose Solana. Okay. There's the Solana address from Coinbase. We'll go back to Ledger Live. We'll hit Solana. We'll say send. Yeah, I guess this one. Actually, why don't I send this one? Yeah, let's see. I hardly ever use that one. Let's see. I would like to allow paste. There's my address. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's still kind of spinning down there at the bottom. Let's see if it finishes spinning. Okay, now it's telling me the account's not funded, which means it's an empty Solana account, but it's my Coinbase Solana account. I think it always says that, even when there's Solana on in my Coinbase account. Doesn't really matter. Let's do 0.2 Solana. Okay, sorry, insufficient balance, including network. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is that little dust account. Whoops, sorry. Let's do max. There we go. All right, let's hit continue. All right. Notice we get a lot of information in Ledger Live. All right, it's telling me to open the Solana app on this guy. And you can hear that little beep too. It's kind of interesting. All right. All right, now it wants me to review the transaction. So we tap. There's the amount. There's the address. Tap again. We want to hold and sign. Boom, there it goes. Boom goes the dynamite. All right, so yeah, I mean, we can use our Ledger Live on our phone with our stacks using Bluetooth to send and receive crypto, right? That's good stuff. Not now. Not now. I'm in the middle of something. All right, so, but let's do some swaps with Rabby, all right? So let's go into the Rabby wallet. This is where the fun starts. And I wish I could be using this overhead thing. So let's say that I would like to buy a little bit of, I don't know. Let's buy some more Normie, right? So I'll hit Normie, and then I'll hit swap. And I'm going to hit the arrow to change the direction. I want to buy the Normie with some of my base denoted Ethereum. Remember, we just transferred $50 worth of Ethereum to our Coinbase, which we then transferred back to the wallet in base format, right? So we did do something, right? We switched it from regular Ethereum to base denoted Ethereum. Notice that little base icon next to the ETH. So yeah, so we're going to use some of our ETH. And we'll do 0.01, which is $36, right? Well, Rabby cannot tell the device to switch apps, right? So I'm going to have to do that myself, right? I'm going to get out of Solana and get into Ethereum. Even though I'm using the base network, I still use the Ethereum app on the hardware device, right? So let's go ahead. Let's get quotes. All right. They say 1 inch is going to be my best deal. I'll do the swap. Yeah, I don't need to authorize Ethereum because I've used it before. So all I need to do is sign the swap. All right. So I'll hit next. I'll say stacks, and then on the stacks, we'll tap. Blind signing is enabled. I know that. That's how much Ethereum we're spending. That's our network base. And we sign, we hold to sign. Good stuff, right? And hopefully our trade will go through. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But I think it went through. So we can do a quick refresh here. And we should have less ETH. Whoops. Oh, okay, yeah. So we have less ETH and we have more normie now, right? We got a little bit more normie, right? So I can use this stacks with Bluetooth on the go with my Ledger Live app and with my Rabby app, right? The Rabby app, I didn't show you the pairing, but it was pretty straightforward. I just told, I installed Rabby. I said, hey, I want to connect my Ledger, and it saw my stacks, no problem. Now, I do believe that you should always set up your device within your Ledger Live app first before you try to use other phone apps that want to connect to your Ledger device through Bluetooth. I think the Soulflare app on your phone complains if you haven't already set it up with Ledger Live. So make sure you have it initialized and paired using Ledger Live, and then you shouldn't have any issues, connecting your device through Bluetooth to these wallet apps where you can do swaps and trades using your device to manage the private key, right? So the private key is offline, right? Okay. I think that's it. I wanted to, I'm sorry I ranted so long about open source and ledger security and testing, but I think somebody said that it's such a shame that I used to be such a trustworthy guy and now I'm just shilling Ledger and marginalizing all of these concerned crypto experts who I call trolls. And, he kind of I used to trust this guy, CryptoDad, but now he's just a Ledger troll, or he's just a Ledger shill, and he's not addressing one of the most important issues in crypto today, which is that the Ledger device is stealing people's keys, or whatever. All right, like tears in rain. Good to have you here. Let's see. I want to just go back over here and say goodnight to everybody and kind of get caught up here. I don't know why this screen is not. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the screen over on my thing is not coming through. Arculus, I'm fine with Arculus. It's a card-based wallet. I don't want to give everybody the impression that I think you should go out and buy a Ledger and that all the other wallets are, not any good. That's not true in any way or form. I have literally posted over 1,000 videos on YouTube, and I've done lots of different hardware wallet reviews. Let's see. I want to increase safety, get wallets from different brands, and split your assets on different wallets from different brands. Yeah, it's a good strategy. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I'm totally behind that, right? I think it's that's kind of the idea behind the Ledger stacks, is that you have more than one wallet and you put them in a nice big stack. Well, at $269 a pop, that's a big ask, right? But yeah, have a Ledger, have a Tangem, buy an Arculus, maybe a cold card, whatever suits your model of security, right? I would not advise someone that is new to run out and buy a cold card. That's is very difficult to use, and the chance of you losing crypto goes up. The more complicated the device and the solution, the more chance there is of someone new losing crypto by frankly screwing it up. This is Andreas Antonopoulos speaking, right? So our main concern is not to lose crypto. So, okay, we cannot just focus on security only, because if we use too much security, we have a higher chance of losing crypto because we're doing something wrong. The technical expertise required for this additional security is going to cause me to lose crypto. So buy a wallet that's easy for you to use. If you think the ledger's too hard or too expensive, try a Tangent. It's really easy. Arculus is really easy. If you're a little more serious and you're willing to learn, get a Ledger or a Trezor or a One Key or a Keystone 3 Pro. If you're into that, would be more if you're a little more adept, right? A Keystone 3 Pro is an air gap device, a little more difficult to use, a little more difficult to wrap your head around. So I'm not saying that Ledger is great and everything else isn't, right? I'm just trying to defend all of the people that are constantly, bashing Ledger. Let's see. What do we do everything today? Yeah, I told you this. The face of crypto custody is changing. I had someone in my comments telling me that Ledger is the first hardware wallet to offer online private key backups, and they probably won't be the last, right? There are more people getting into crypto. More people that are not that crypto savvy and don't care about like the whole, that's not true self-custody. They want a way to back up their value, right? Their hard-earned money that they, their life savings, their life-changing wealth. They want secure, safe backup beyond their own piece of paper. And I don't see why that's such a big ask, right? So yeah, more and more companies might be offering easier ways to back up your private key to the cloud, right? And then we've got the Coinbase Smart Wallet, which makes it really easy to set up your own wallet and do self-custody based on passkey, which lives on your computer or on your phone, right? So the face of self-custody is changing. I did want to point out that there are a few apps that are not supported on the Stacks device that are supported in Ledger Live. For example, let me go ahead and just connect my Stacks real quick. I did want to cover this. Let's see here. Okay. So if we go to accounts and we try to add an AVAX account, and I have my Ledger Stacks connected, right? And we choose AVAX. Oh, I think it just, maybe they updated it. I don't know. I don't remember doing an update. No. Okay. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry. Yeah. So the Avalanche app doesn't work on the Stacks, even though it does work on the Ledger Nano X. So it's not perfect, right? I did want to bring that up. Now there's another one too, which was weird. So there is a crypto called Stacks, which does not work on the Stacks. Now these are just the two that I've discovered that are not compatible with the Stacks device. So not only does the Stacks device not have as much storage space, this has nothing to do with storage. If it were a storage issue, it would say you don't have enough storage, right? Because if we go over to my Ledger, you can see that it's only half full. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people are concerned that it only has 1 megabyte of app storage. But there's also a few apps that are, that work in Ledger Nano X, but not on the Stack. So be aware of that. I wanted to point that out. It's not you, because somebody's asking me, man, it won't let me install this app on my device. What's wrong? I'm like, well, It doesn't work on the stacks. So I'm sure they'll start adding more support for more apps on the stacks as time goes by, right? A lot of it has to do with the developers themselves for those projects, like the AVAX developers are like, oh man, we got to get that stacks thing done because it's up to them to update their app for the stacks. They have the APIs. Dan, have a good night. If Bitcoin rises 1,100 by the end of the week, we will have the highest close ever. Let's go. Yeah, so let's hope that Bitcoin can creep its way up to 70 or 71,000 by Sunday night. That would be totally awesome, right? I think I'm done, right? Let's go over here. I want to, of course, thank Kenny, as usual, for being here early and the news. I thank you, Dan, for being here and moderating. I didn't see JDO, but JDO, wherever you are, thank you for everything you do. I want to thank everyone for their generous donations tonight. Joseph, thank you so much. Asil, thank you so much for the Zero Hedge article. I love Zero Hedge. I read it every day. You might be offended by some of their articles, but it's good stuff, right? William J. May, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you for coming in over on the West Coast. Sorry I didn't know about that XRP Paynet thing. Apologize for that. Thank you, everyone that asked questions and made comments. Oh yes, Retro Mike mentioned that Trezor is launching a new device. I had not seen that news, but someone in my comments section mentioned it, that they're waiting for the new Ledger thing to come out mid-June before they make their decision. But yeah, so thank you everyone that contributed. Thank you everyone that just jumped in and listened. Thank you. I will see you next week. We do this every Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.